Mike Stewart and Mitch Rawlins. I think his word out on the peer poll result.
Yeah, Mitch took I think it's his third peer poll. And as you see, you got Mike Stewart, he's peer poll winner, and Ryan Hardy in the heat. Also, I think he's 5 times peer poll winner. So,
wow.
I mean, 3 peer poll winners in one heat. It is a final, isn't it?
It is. And how did you finish up?
I finished up with a third. So
third. There you go. You last year's winner.
Yeah. So dropped a couple of spots, but it's hard to stay on top, isn't it?
Oh, mate, especially when the quality of guys around you. But, mate, it's and where you're looking on the tour, at the moment you're sort of sitting in 6th. With a strong result here, you could go all the way to 2nd place. So I guess you've got aspirations to finish in the top 3.
Yeah, I'd be really stoked to get up there. I was in sort of 2 minds about coming to this event, and then all my sponsors came on and sponsored the event. So we really want to be a part of it, and I'm stoked I'm here, and hopefully can wreck some dreams.
Yeah, that's when it's going to be fascinating to watch. As I said, you get down to the round of 16 and the quarterfinals. Man on man, you might have friends or great rivals meeting. It's going to decide the world tour. And mate, the exciting thing is the forecast for next week for that final day is looking 8 feet plus. So could be something very memorable.
Could be a perfect end to this year's tour. We've had some amazing waves the whole year, and as you see, that 8 foot on Tuesday, that is going to be pretty solid. So.
You speak to the locals, and they're actually talking bigger than 8 feet, but we're trying to keep it conservative. And but as each day, as we check the forecast, that swell just keeps growing. And actually, if you look out to Thursday, the 14th and 15th, stays around 8 feet. So we're trying to put ourselves in that position, Winnie, where we get the early rounds done, and we can have that final day in just those epic conditions. If we could nail a world title being decided in 8 foot pumping Fronton.
Oh, it'd be amazing, wouldn't it? That's what we all want.
Oh, no, without a doubt. So fingers crossed. But Jace Finlay, there you have the winner of the last heat. He got a second, then a first. So he's probably going to see. He can almost book himself a seat in round 4 of the competition as well.
Yeah, he's on 10 points, and he must be over the moon, I reckon.
Yeah, no, definitely. His new board sponsor. He's over here with a wild card, and he's got himself into the round of 16 for, arguably the biggest event of the year. So, insane.
You've seen Mike on screen before. He's sitting pretty wide to the other 3 guys, so I'm not too sure what his tactics are here, if he's going to sit on the lefts or sit on the wide rights. You can see the 3 guys there, Hardy, Mitch and Hugo, sitting there waiting for those wedgie rights that we saw Jace get before. But, okay, Stewart's kind of sniffing over here. Doesn't want to let those guys get one.
Yeah, no, he's been around a long time, but he's still a real competitor, isn't he? He's very competitive in the water, and he doesn't give an inch.
Oh, no, he doesn't. I've had a few altercations with him, so it's been pretty interesting over the years. But no, he is a competitive guy, as we all are. Yeah. Hugo here on the first wave of the whole heat, and just didn't give him much. So that's almost 4 minutes gone with no waves.
Yeah, no, it said slow start, and as you saw in the last week, Jace Finlay waited, picked off the good ones. I think he dropped an 8 and a 6.5. So the scoring potential's there. And I think Mitch and Mike have got a bit of history as well, and Hardy's got the world title on the line, so the Portuguese are as competitive as anyone in the water. So I wouldn't call this a relaxed heat.
No, it won't be, but that 4-man priority will help them out. As you see there, Stewart's slid in behind Rocky there.
Yeah, there you go. Look, while we've got a little lull in the action, let's have a word from one of the event sponsors. Of those ads, Winnie, it's most telecasts you have a break during the ads, but it's almost when the ads are on, that's when you want to be watching the webcast because the quality of them is amazing.
I know that forward air bended on that left. Well, I hadn't seen that before, and it was amazing, wasn't it? So smooth and clean, just a lot of pop. So yeah, it was nice.
Would that go down as the most memorable contest for you this year, the Chile Eureka event?
Yeah, for me it would be. I had a good result there, and I just love the place. I always seem to get good results there. So I guess the confidence level up. Like going to those events, I'm really confident coming into them, and so I just really hopefully can get another good result there next year.
Yeah, here's the highlights of the Eureka event here. We'll go down in history as one of the amazing, but talk us through some of these footage, Winnie.
I mean, look at that big pit there. Tamiga's roll. Everyone's seen this. He's just, crazy. I said it on the mic yesterday, he's an animal, and
Yeah,
he is.
Yeah.
I mean, no one's doing that stuff except for him, so it was a deserved win, and I just like throwing his board off to the crowd, the one he loved.
Yeah, he still talks about that. He said it was his favourite board he's been riding for years, and you kindly donated it to the locals, and I don't think GT's ever been the same since.
I know, I can't really believe I actually got to pull it out of his arms. His man strength, I thought would overpower me, but I wasn't letting it go.
So let's have a look at this replay. It looks like Mitch got under the lip here.
His first little scorer, he had to go through the lip there, whereas obviously you'd want to go straight off the lip cleanly, but he got a 5.0, so it's a good start to his campaign. Better than Ryan Hardy's start there, as you see, he just sort of got crumbled on in that barrel, so he'll be looking for another good one. Look at him getting out there quickly.
Yeah, looked like it was going to open up, but just pinched on him there. But Hardy, I think, from my observations, he likes to get a strong start to a heat. If he has a slow start, he really feels the pressure. So hopefully, he only got a 1.5 for that, but still 23 minutes to go, so he'll get his game face back on and get out there.
Mike's still scoreless in this, so he's just waiting for a good one. But the thing is with this wave is it's so wedgy, and when the wind comes in, it sort of chops it all up a bit, so it's hard to see, and every wave's different out there, lefts and rights and whatever. So the wave's just going everywhere, so it's really hard to tell which isn't actually a good one till the very last minute. So Mike might be looking at something here. No, there could be a few lumps coming though.
Yeah, there's a few lumps coming, and looks like a few sets rolling in as I pop my head up here out of the commentary booth. But Mike Stewart, I heard him talking earlier. I think he first came here in 1994. Oh, if you put that in perspective, that's like 17 years ago. And he was talking about when he was surfing this wave, so he's been coming for a long time. And but look, now here we have the last heat winner talking to Shaggy, Jason Finlay. Over to you, Shaggy.
Down here is international wildcard, Jace Finlay. Jace, congratulations, good heat, huh?
Yeah, thanks, brother. It's pretty hard. Like there's some crackers coming through, but I think I waited 10 minutes for my first one, so yeah, I guess it was worth the wait.
Definitely. You had two good inverts. The second one was massive 8-point ride. Talk us through that one.
Yeah, the start, I waited again a long time for that one. Came through with a big wall, so I had enough time for a little spin at the start, and then it just walled up, and I could have probably done a flip, but I wanted to make sure I landed it, so did the invert.
Man, it looked good from where I was sitting. Congratulations on winning that heat.
Yeah, cheers, bro.
Little shout out to the South Coast boys.
Yeah, just amped. Hope everyone's up probably 2 in the morning at home, so bring on the South Coast boys. Yee!
Congratulations, Jace. Back to you guys. Nice, bro.
Stewart, big powerful roll, Winnie. That's his first wave.
Yeah, 9 minutes had gone before Mike got that first one, so he's taking Jace's strategy. Jace only caught 4 waves in that whole heat, so I think Mike's going to probably do the same, and hopefully they're 2 good ones.
But and then while we're at the interview there with Shaggy and Jace, Mitch Rawlins dropped another wave, 4s across the board. So Mitch Rawlins is actually in first place at the moment with 5. Oh, there you go, with a combined score of 9. So got a 5-point ride and a 4-point ride. Still waiting for some other scores to drop. But as you see on the screen, Hardy second, Hugo third, and Mike fourth. But as these scores drop, you'll see a situation change. But let's wait to see what the judges have to say, for these last waves. And there you go, Mike Stewart's got a 5.5 for that first one, Winnie.
Yeah, so it's a high-scoring wave of the heat so far, so Mike's actually in a pretty good position. Ryan Hardy and Hugo have still got a bit of work to do. But, I mean, there's still 20 minutes to go, so hopefully there's no screaming coming.
Yeah, well, yeah, look, Mitch finished 4th, eh? So he'd probably you'd probably want to win this one, wouldn't you? That still only gives him 7 points, and he's probably got to have a restless night. But you don't want to be going in with 5 points under your belt into round 3.
Yeah, you definitely put a lot of pressure on yourself, and especially when these heats get mixed up and you come in and you've got 3 of the top guys. So you just never know. You just want to try and be safe with 2 firsts.
Yeah. All right. Well, Winnie, thanks for your time in the booth again. If you want to give a quick shout out to your sponsors and any last words.
Yeah, just like to thank NMD Stealth and Grand Flavour for sponsoring it. And hi to my wife at home with the kids. I love you.
There you go, good work, and thank you, Winnie. We really appreciate your time, and we'll call Terry McKenna back in. He can get ready for your heat, so the best of luck with that, mate.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Okay, so 10 minutes gone in this heat, and I said it's a stacked heat. We've got Mitch Rawlins in first place with 9 points. Got Mike Stewart in second place with just that one solid 5.5 ride. In third, Hugo Pinheiro is, he's only got a 2.85, but all eyes are on Ryan Hardy. He is in fourth position at the moment. Still 19 minutes to go, so plenty of time for hard balls. But said he opened up with a win in his first round. He'd like at least he'd love a first or second in here so he can book himself a seat or seat at the table for the round 4 action, and so he's still in world title contention. But Ryan Hardy serves this wave as well as anyone. He'll be looking for a nice right-hand section to go to town on, and 18 and a half minutes to go, and I'm sure there's a lot of people collectively holding their breath to hope that Ryan Hardy can pull that off. But he's got it up against him because the guys in the water, guys like the calibre of Hugo Pinheiro, Mitch Rawlins, who's up and riding now, bang, big backflip by Mitch Rawlins. That'll more than likely extend his lead and make things a little bit harder for Mike, Hugo and Ryan Hardy. But it looks like Mitch is warming into this event. And welcome to the chair, Terry. But as you come in, we just see that backflip from Mitch Rawlins, slaps it down and rips it around. And he's looking to better a 4.0. Let's see what the judges have to say.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, he's just been an incredible return to competition form in 2011 for Mitch. Of course, prior to that, he was kind of on a bit of a journey, little adventure, finding some big stuff, and exploring the world, looking for some radical ways. But he is really back in incredible form, and of course, has never won a world title, but it's always been considered as one of the most technical riders on the planet. A 5.25 for that last wave from Mitch puts him ahead of Mike Stewart, who opened up with a 5.5. So Mike actually holding on to the highest score of the heat. Interesting little scenario here, but in 2011, for the first time ever, Mike Stewart looking down the barrel of not qualifying for the IBA World Tour for next year, for their GSS, that is. Mike really needs a good result, not just here, but in this heat. And you can see him there hanging on to a 5.5 on his first wave, Craig.
Yeah, look, it's sort of hard to believe. Mike's on that bubble and he's got all the pressure. Had a fourth in his first round, and he's currently sitting in second with a nice solid opening ride. So he's probably in box, he's in the box seat so far. But Ryan Hardy, as this time ticks away, the pressure starts to build. What are we going to see? He only has a 1.5 at the moment. I'm sure he's got priority out there because he hasn't caught many waves, but he's looking for that big right-hand section to go to town on. And but the scenario we've got, Terry, it's fascinating. The world title, Ryan Hardy, he does not want Jeff Hubbard in the semis. If Jeff Hubbard makes the semi-finals, Ryan Hardy cannot win the world title. So that's the first scenario he's got his eyes on. He doesn't want Pierre-Louis Costes to make the final. Otherwise, he's out of contention. He can't beat Pierre. But if those two scenarios don't happen, up and riding, here he is, Hardy, Tez.
Yeah, well, speak of the devil appears, Ryan Hardy. You can just see him just angling onto that inside section. We saw Jason Finlay get some big sections there in the previous heat, Craig. In fact, I was on the beach commentary for that one, and Jason Finlay has just really played a smart heat in that one. He held priority for most of the heat. He got all the big set waves. He didn't waste too much energy catching any of the, anything that wasn't, have a lot of scoring potential. And I'm very impressed with Jason's performance here, given the fact that, he doesn't compete a lot down under. He's a bit of a hardcore sort of underground charger, and he's just come out of the blocks here with a second in his first round, and of course a win in the last one. So, he's sitting on, right now, sitting on 10 points. Worst he can do is 11. I'd say that Chase Finlay is looking pretty good to make it into the man-on-man part of the competition. Well, there's one of the young guns, folks, coming up in the next heat. Tommy Rigby from the Gold Coast, taking on Kevin Oliwela, of course, from another of the young guns from Canary Islands. We've got Michael Novi in there and Magna Oliveira. These heats are just ludicrous.
Yeah, there's no easy heats here, Terry, and that'll be exciting to watch. And look, Tom Rigby, I'm not sure if he was out celebrating last night, but he secured himself a berth in the 2012 top 24, so I'm sure he's stoked. But, oh, mate, I'm getting a little bit anxious here. I'm watching this heat unfold. Hardy's just got his third wave. I don't think that's going to better his 1.0, so all of a sudden the pressure really starts to rise on Ryan Hardy. He won his first one, Terry, so even a 4th place here will get him on 7 points and very much in contention with a strong result in round 3 for him to progress on to round 4. But you just don't want that pressure. There's already the pressure of the world title race. You know, the night before going to round 3, I'm sure hardballs would like to, at least be sitting on 10 points, and so he can focus on the big picture.
Yeah, that's right. And, that's so classic Ryan Hardy. I mean, he either just blows doors and comes first, or he sits around and comes last. Rarely see him in 2nd or 3rd position, Ryan. Yeah. He either just goes all or nothing. I mean, it's kind of his approach to competition surfing. And, like most of the time it pays dividends. But I tell you what, as a Ryan Hardy supporter, if you're watching out there, it's always a nail-biting grandstand sort of finish. He always is very nervous kind of a guy to follow, that's for sure.
And I'm sure his family's watching down there in Margaret River. I think they've just recently moved house. Hopefully they've got the internet connected and watching their man. And he said he's one of the more popular bodyboarders in the world, so I'm sure everybody's watching. But here we have, Terry, up on the screen, the leaderboard. We're sort of building our way through round 2. The scenarios are starting to play out. Can you talk us through it?
Yeah, that's right. Well, Jeff Hubbard on 12 points is the only guy that has won 2 heats back-to-back thus far. And, Mitch Rawlins just rolling out through the inside there. We could see Jared Houston was sitting pretty well in 2nd spot. He had 10 points. We'll try and pull that graphic back up and we'll talk you back through that one. But, here we go. So 2 wins to Jeff Hubbard. He is on track with 12 points. He can really relax now and just go out there and focus on surfing, as can this man in the blue singlet, Hugo Pinheiro. That's that's not going to be much of a scorer there for the Portuguese rider in the blue singlet, or azul, as they say in the local tongue. But interesting leaderboard scenarios at the moment. On the also with 10 points, we've got Jason Finlay and Uri Valadeo. Then it goes down into Pierre Diego and Guilherme Tamiga all sitting on 8 points. I just saw GT out the back. He was a bit crook yesterday, but he said he's feeling better today. And the boys are, pretty anxious to find out whether or not we're going to go into round number 3, which is a fair chance we will. As we
Hardy.
see, that is a better way for Ryan Hardy, and he comes out of the tube.
He needed that.
Boom!
Flips out of it, Terry. You spoke about all or nothing. Ryan Hardy put it all on the line, back against the wall. Still 12 minutes to go, but he came out with arguably easily the strongest wave of the heat, barrel, and he flipped out of it. So can't wait to see the replay on that and see what the judges had to say. But Ryan Hardy's back.
Yeah, well, let's look at the replay, folks. Ryan Hardy stroking into this one. He realises this thing is going to open up, sets the rail, puts the pie in the oven, and that is a great barrel there for the Australian. He really needed a score. Prior to that, he had a 1 and a 1.85, and you can see him. It wasn't simply enough to just get a deep tube ride. Hardy just comes out and goes big off the end section, and I tell you what, that was an 8.75, and that has taken him from 4th into 1st position.
That's the way, Ryan. Well done, mate. And look, I'm sure your big fan base is feeling a little bit easier and more relaxed now, and maybe other world title contenders up on the in the riders VIP area might be feeling a little bit nervous seeing that sort of form from Ryan Hardy. He was on fire yesterday. We've seen some amazing footage of Ryan Hardy over the years surfing at Fronton, and bang, there you saw it again, 8.75. That might be the highest wave we've seen today, Terry. I can't recall if there's been any bigger than that, but it's one of them, and deservedly so. And all of a sudden, Hardy's feeling a little bit more relaxed. But the other side of the equation, Mike Stewart gets a little bit more nervous. He's only got that one wave. He said, as you said, Terry, he's probably just playing the waiting game, waiting for the high scoring waves. But it was surprising he let Hardy have that one under his guard.
Yeah, that's right. Well, Mike Stewart only needing a 5.76 to take the lead. So, look, there's nothing in this between the top 3 at the moment. The only thing is, I guess, Hugo Pinheiro is just struggling at the moment, needing an 8.4. Between Hardy, Rawlins and Mike Stewart, there is just really nothing. Mike looking for a 4.75. Mitch needs a 5.01. And Ryan Hardy looking to improve on a 1.5. That's a pretty easy task for all 3 of those guys.
Oh, there's plenty more to play out in these last 10 minutes, Terry. Sets are starting to roll in, so it's good to see. Hugo, he's also got the potential of knocking out a couple of high scores and put himself in contention, but at the very close between the 3 superstars of the sport, really. And the same could be said about Hugo. He felt sorry for Hugo. He yesterday bowed out of the trials and he was really in contention for a top 24 berth for 2012. But he got pipped. He didn't make it through to the final. Andrew Lester, the eventual winner, knocked him out of the semi. And as we've all heard, he went on to qualify for next year's World Tour. But Hugo, unfortunately, did not make it through. But great to see him out here in the main event, Terry.
Yeah, absolutely unbelievable. I tell you what, these heats in the second round, the way that the cards have fallen, have created some incredible matchups, that's for sure. We've got a bunch of people watching online, including Brett McCaskill from the Gold Coast. He's tuning in to watch, of course, his boy Riggers come up in the next heat. Also, Scotty Mason, Newcastle. G'day, Scotty. Hope you're enjoying it, mate, back home in Newey. And all those other people. We've got Rodrigo, Billiams is online, and Tiago as well, all enjoying the webcast. So you can send your messages through at messages@ibaworldtour.com. So that is the current situation. Ryan Hardy in the lead. Mitch Rawlins in second. We got Mike Stewart in third, and Hugo Pinheiro holding down the tail end of this one with around about, what do we got, 8.5 minutes remaining. There's the bleachers starting to fill up with punters, Greg. I went for a little walk up there after that last heat, and the kids are crazy. They're getting all the autographs. It's a festive kind of a holiday period here on the island. It's almost akin to a kind of Easter weekend back home where there's a couple of public holidays in a row. And you can't quite see the crowd just getting clipped there, but the grandstands are pretty well full. And great little competition area there, just starting to fill up. Nice little focus area. So Hugo Pinheiro once again just struggling. He's only got a 1 and a 1.85, and he's looking for an 8.4. He needs to find something of substance, and wave selection paramount when you get to this level. There's the bloke in the blue singlet coming up in the next heat.
Yeah, that's the local Kevin who made it through from the trials. Great talent. I think he's only 18 years of age, Terry, and we saw in the highlights. Oh, hang on, Mitch Rawlins on a big one. Bang! Ooh. Can he land that? Hopefully. I think he's got caught in the wash there, but a massive section for Mitch Rawlins.
Yeah, incredible high-flying manoeuvre there from Rawlins, but you can see him, he's all right. He's back in the saddle and he's okay. But, a lot of guys, you would normally think that they would make it, but not here at Fronton, Greg. The power of the whitewash here and the froth and the power on the inside. But have a look at the replay there. Big landing, and you can see him just land in the flats and almost just folding on landing. It didn't really get the M zone there to bounce back up, and normally that will kind of cushion your landing, but that one was just a flat landing there, and of course lost a bit of valuable momentum to try and finish off that manoeuvre. 2.0 from the judges for that last incomplete ride of Mitch Rawlins. But Ryan Hardy, in the interim, got a 4.5 for his last wave. So that extended his lead over Mitch Rawlins, who now needs just over an 8-point ride to take the lead. Mike Stewart still sitting on one wave with first priority. Mike's playing the waiting game. He needs a 4.75 to go to second, or a 7.76. And, well, Hugo Pinheiro's in combo land for first place. There's the guys for the next seat making their way down. Kevi Oliwela, Tommy Rigby, got Novi, and Magno, of course, Magno Oliveira is our little beach marshal crew doing a top job. We've got just an army of volunteers here. Everyone wants to be involved with the IBA Grand Slam event. This last one on the World Tour, and it's a real team effort out there, and I'm stoked to have such a good bunch of guys and girls working for us, mate.
Oh, most definitely, Terry. Good crew. You've seen the amazing contest infrastructure, and the event's gone very smoothly so far. We're getting quite excited about the forecast for next week, and we've just got to wait and see what Huey delivers. But as it looks at the moment, we could be deciding the world title in 8 to 10 feet pumping Fronton. So we've got to wait and see. But there's still a lot happening in the water right now. Next heat, we've spoke about the amazing talent. You've got Magno, the Brazilian, coming down for that. But in the water right now, we do have Ryan Hardy, who's holding down first position. If he can do that, he's into round 4, keeping the world title dream alive. Mitch Rawlins, he finished with a 4th. Now he's in second, so he's looking a little bit better. But Mike Stewart has gone 25 minutes. He has caught one wave, Terry.
Yep.
If he cannot get into at least second place here, I think we have to say goodbye to Mike Stewart for 2012.
What a nail-biting time that is. We just saw Magno making his way, down the cliff there, which is a sketchy little walk. And of course, we've got plenty of people watching from Brazil, including Rodrigo Viguini, I think it is. Rodrigo is watching the webcast. He sent through a message saying a bit of a shout-out to his boy Magno Oliveira. Here goes Hugo Pinheiro. In fact, he does need to have a huge go. And in fact, he does. Gives it a big nudge through the lip there. Nice little sort of ARS maybe
it
backflip.
Was, yeah. No, I think it was ARS, Terry.
Yeah,
but,
pretty
we'll
hard.
wait and have a look. But he needs an 8.4 to jump into second. I'm not sure if it'll be enough for that. But
no, but it will probably reduce the equation needed. This could even push him up pretty close to Stewart. I mean, Mike's only holding on to a 5.5, so pretty technical little move. In fact, that was a 4.9. It did push him ahead of Stewart, so Mike's gone down into 4th place. So we have around about 4 minutes remaining. This is the replay. Greg, take us through it.
yeah, nice one from Hugo. He hasn't had much luck this heat, but he finds a nice section there, and he gets up there, and what's he done? It is an ARS, Terry. He flips it around, lands it nicely, and rides out. 4.9 the judges gave him for that. Jumps him into 3rd. He only needs a 5.35 now to jump into 2nd. So, as you said, it puts him back in contention. But Mike Stewart, come on. We've got Mike Stewart, yeah, he is in 4th position with 3 minutes 40 remaining. He needs a 4.75 to jump back into 2nd place. And unless he can do that, Terry has said it's really going to be very difficult to see Mike Stewart in the top 24 for the 9. But in the next heat, Terry, here we have Kevin. I've had troubles with the surname.
Yeah, Kevin, that is Kevin Oyewela, and he's only 19 years of age. He's a Confitale local, of course, came through the trials here, and real talent. I mean, along with Morales and a bunch of other, Kobo, and, there's just so many of these guys coming out of this amazing little part of the world. Really is a hotbed of talent, that's for sure.
If you're surfing waves like this, every day, this is your local, Terry. Obviously, the great thing we've seen, you hear the locals talk about over the last 5 years just how this sport has exploded in the Canary Islands, and you've spoken about the talent, whether it's Elliot Morales, Diego Cabrera, Kevin, as you saw on screen in the next heat. He's just amazing hotbed of talent, and no doubt we've already seen. We've got this year the French world champion of Amaury Laverne. You've got a good representation in the top 24, but over time Europe's just really becoming this proving ground, and where some of the best riders, young riders, are coming from.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, the sport, of course, is dominated by Australians and Hawaiians for a long time, but now we've got, superpowers like South Africa and Europe, Canary Islands, Brazil.
Oh, don't forget Brazil, Terry.
Yeah, they're just pumping out the champions, and well, you can see Mike Stewart on screen there, folks. 2 minutes remaining, and this is just a very nervous part of Mike Stewart's long, illustrious career. Is it about to take a dip here? And you can see Mike just, looming out wide. I think what happened, Greg, I just was watching that wide shot before, but Mike Stewart actually was in first priority for ages. He paddled for a wave and he pulled back and went to 4th. That's why he's now looming wide and on the inside. He only needs a 4.75 to go to 2nd, and we are down to about 1 minute and 40 seconds remaining, and what is going to be an incredible minute and a half to watch here for Mike Stewart, the legend.
Oh, well, so he lost priority, Terry, and that's, you can just feel even the most seasoned campaigner in the world feeling the pressure of the situation here, and as you said, he made an uncharacteristic error. He lost priority. He now has 90 seconds to get himself a 4.75, but Mitch Rawlins is up and riding, found a nice building right. He'll flip and fall off the back of that, so that won't trouble the scorers. He's trying to better a 5.0. But Mike Stewart now has 70 seconds to get a 4.75 or bow out of the top 24 of the world rankings. And it'll be interesting to see what Mike does, Terry, whether he goes back on the GQS, selects a couple of events to do, or he may go on on other missions. But
well, I can imagine that a lot of promoters around the world would, be more than happy to offer Mike Stewart a wild card. It's only going to bring good publicity to you. But mate, it's not over yet till the final siren. There's 40 seconds remaining. Mike only needing a 4.75 to go to 2nd. That's totally doable, and a 7.76 to take victory. Looks like blue paddle for that wave. Now there's Stewart up and riding, and Mike looking for a little something through the inside. This one starts to loom up, but there's not a lot of scoring potential. And are we going to say goodbye to Mike Stewart off the Grand Slam Series, folks? We'll let you know shortly. We're just on 20 seconds remaining.
Oh, he just fell to the water then, Terry. He's very frustrated and stressed. But we're down to 10 seconds, and that last wave of Mike's scores are coming in. It was a 1.1. Mike Stewart has finished 4th. He has a combined score. Look at that frustration. It is terribly disappointing. He's a legend of the sport, and he's had some great waves through his career, and even this year he's some memorable performances. But as it stands at the moment, that could be the end of Mike Stewart for the top 24 of the World Tour, and he's still shaking his head, Terry, and I'm actually in a little bit of disbelief.
Well, that's in the 20-odd years of his illustrious career, this is the first time that we've ever had a two-tiered system where something like this could happen to Mike Stewart, and, you've got to be feeling for him at the moment on camera. He's, even at 47 years of age, he's as competitive as he's ever been, and, as I said, I can imagine that Mike, won't be the last we see Mike Stewart, folks. Michael, I'm sure will pick up a couple of wildcard spots for 2012, and we're hoping to, that he hangs in there, basically, because it would be a sad moment when he does eventually just,
I'm sure there's a role for Mike Stewart to play in bodyboarding for a long time, Terry, and he's been the greatest ambassador for bodyboarding, and he's the godfather, and for sure we'll see a lot more of Mike Stewart. But let's not take away from Ryan Hardy, who's secured first place, secured 12 points. He's into round 4, keeping the world title dream alive. And the exciting news, we've got PLC about to join us in the commentary box, and he'll talk about how he's seeing the world title showdown play out. But Ryan Hardy's, he's going to have a say yet, because he's now through to the round of 4, the final 16. So Terry, what I'll do, we'll say goodbye to you. We'll get Manny and PLC back in. We'll let you out.
Yep.
Get Manny in, and then we'll get PLC in. So stay tuned, because you're about to see a potential world champion join the commentary booth, and the world champion of commentary is joining us too, Manny Vargas.
All right, now.